All right, how you doing today? Today we're taking a look at Virtual Guitarist CINEDREAM by UJAM, their latest virtual guitarist. They have a bunch of cool virtual guitarists, virtual bassists, virtual drummers, beatmaker drum machines, pianos, and effects. So check out some of their other stuff if you're not familiar. Anyways, today we'll be taking a look at Today we'll be taking a look at the CINEDREAM virtual guitarist. This is for like scoring, film scoring, atmospheric guitars, sound design, really cool guitar sounds that you can get out of this. So in this video, I'm going to play some of the preset sounds in the CINEDREAM guitar here in a track that I created with some of their other virtual instruments. And then we'll go over the interface, and then we'll start a sound from scratch, and then we'll use it in my favorite mode, which is the instrument mode, where you can play it on your keyboard and such like that. It's a really cool. There'll be links down in the video description below for this as well for the latest deal. There's always different sales going on. I don't know when you're gonna be watching this video, so I can't obviously tell you any details on that, but check the latest deal in the link in the description below. It will be to Plugin Boutique. They always offer a free plugin every month with any valid purchase. So if you purchase this, you'll get a free plugin, whatever it is of that month. Anyways, let's take a look at it here. So I got it in this track here, and I'm also using the virtual pianist instrument here, and I have their Subcraft on here as well, and the Dandy virtual bassist playing, and I also have the Symphonic Elements drums instrument as well. And the cool thing about doing it this way is, if you look at the MIDI data here, this is just chord progressions, and the instruments are kind of playing by themselves based on set parameters that I throw in here. That's how pretty much all the UJAM stuff works. So this is the CINEDREAM, obviously. So let's play this patch here before the instruments. And then we have stuff like this. So a lot of really cool patches to begin with. Let's play these in the track, and I'll just go through some of them. And what's happening here, as you can see down here, the chords are being played, and there's different phrases down here. So you can switch all kinds of different phrases. We'll go over that coming up in the video. I just want to show you some of these sounds real quick. Let's just play this and see what happens with the other instruments. Now, some of them aren't obviously going to go with every track that you have, so you have to kind of go through them. And so on and so forth. So let's go over the interface here, and then we'll play some more sounds. And my favorite part, again, the instrument mode. Let's check it out. So here we have the basic interface intuitively laid out. We have our contour here, softer, harder, with the characteristics of the guitar from softest to hardest. Then we have amp settings here, drive knob, focus knob, a widener knob. And then we have our stomp boxes down here as well. All kind of effects for stomp boxes. And we have the amount of that here. And we can turn those off or on. And then we have our finisher plugin. A bunch of effects. And then we have a bunch of like verbs and stuff like that as well. Ambience. So many really interesting things in this plugin. And then we have our tone and variants here as well. Now for our presets, we have two different kind of presets down here. We have the main presets. We have lots of different presets in here, and these will change the whole settings and the rhythm style down here. But if you want to change just the rhythm style, so you like a sound, and by rhythm style I mean the style phrases, we have all these different patterns down here that go along with the C2 keys here, C2 up to C3, and these are drag and drop too for your DAW if you want to do that. Now the common phrases, these phrases are all going to stay the same. They tell you right here, open 1 2 1, long chord 3, offbeat 2, 1 stops, and so on. And they get more complicated as you go up the notes here. Same with the style phrases. And then we would play our chords over here. Now we can just play the C on a C note. So that'd be a C power chord, or if we play C major, C minor, and so on. C7th and stuff like that. So, and then the style phrases are here. Then we have a stop here as well. And these are just our common phrases. So if we change this, we could do all kind of things like that. And then we have our micro timing settings down here to where to sync our halftime, double time feel, our swing amount, and humanize, loosen, and tight. And then, of course, if you just click on this, it explains all the common phrases over here as well in the player mode. So really cool. And this is just like all the other UJAM guitarists. So once you get one of them, you kind of get yourself familiar with it, and you're good to go. There's some other stuff on here. Put your key in, open chords, notes. And then we have dampening, which you can use on your mod wheel on your keyboard, and pitch, your pitch wheel on your keyboard. So you can do that here with your mouse or on the keyboard. So cool. Let's check out some sounds. Okay, so for the sounds, let's go over some of the different layouts here, how we get these different sounds. I like to start off with the cleanest guitar here. So we'll go to the neutral, and then we'll just put this part here, contour it like in the middle, and we'll bypass the stomp box and the effects and stuff like that as well. So as you can see, if we go this, kind of gives you that more sustain. Go to the softest guitar here. So you can kind of see what those are doing, and with different amp settings. And then we have the widener. Focus, kind of like a darker or brighter sound. And drive, of course. And you can experiment with different settings. Of course, we can detune it and stuff. And we have a dampening. Which, of course, will sound different with different guitar patterns. I'm just playing one phrase here. And this would be on your mod wheel on your keyboard as well. And we have a pitch knob on your keyboard, but you could do it here as well. And then we have our Stompbox effects, which we have lots of. All kinds of ones here. And then our finisher, which is even more effects. So we got all these different effects, and then we have ambient sounds, spring reverb, for example. And just goes on from there. And then for our presets, we'll just play a part here and go through some of these. Now, of course, you're going to have to get ones that fit your track better, but these ones are pretty wild. Just, you know, all kind of stuff you can do with this. So super cool. You can get all kind of sounds here. Pad sounds, ambient sounds, normal guitar sounds. And let's check out the instrument mode of this. Okay, so one of my favorite ways is the instrument mode here. We have the instrument mode. We just turn it on there. And then the keyboard is laid out a little differently here. From C3, we have chords that we can play over here. And then down here on C2, we have the notes of those chords. For example, if I'm playing a C major chord, so those would be like the 6 notes, 6 strings on the guitar. We have some strums in here too. We can turn on a half muted, full muted. We can also use the modulation. I'm just gonna hit the key and see here to do that as well. So that's really, really cool. And then we have other things down here. Dead notes. And then we also have slides. Strumming. Now, what I like to do in this mode is lay down a chord progression in my DAW, which I have right now. So when I play the track, I can just play the notes here. So let's do that with the song here. I'm just gonna experiment around. I also like to just experiment with the sounds here as I'm doing that, because we have all these effects, Stompboxes, and different characters, guitar, different amp settings. And this is kind of a fun way to find your sound as well. So we'll just play the track here and I'll kind of improvise and show you what kind of sounds we could get from this. Let's go. See, I'm just going around here, not even scratching the surface yet. Let's pick out some of these ones. Chorus, effect. Check out the finishers. We got effects and we got ambience. Just pick one of these here. Change these around. We can do this as well. I kind of like that middle position for this finger picking kind of stuff. All right, so you get the idea. Again, I've not even scratched the surface of all the different tones, but it's a really cool virtual guitarist. Anyways, let me know what you think. Check out my other videos floating around the screen here. Again, there'll be links down in the video description below for this. That is all for now. I will talk to you soon.